Shane or Judy, please, and I am ready.
Borough of Ramsey, Mayor and Council Work Session for Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. Today's Flag Day, I believe, also.
Yes, it is.
Okay. This meeting is also being conducted telephonically. The dial-in number is 425-436-6365, access code 213563, hashtag. This meeting may also be viewed on the Ramsey YouTube channel. We have a roll call, please?
Mayor Dillon is not present. Councilwoman Cusick,
Here.
Councilman Gutwetter,
Here.
Councilman Kilman is delayed. Councilman Popolo,
Here.
Councilwoman Poppy,
Here.
Councilwoman Woods.
Here.
Can we stand for the flag salute? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of all citizens to have advance notice of and to attend all meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting the public is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, notice of this meeting of the mayor and council was published in the Bergen Record and the Ridgewood News on Friday, January 13th, 2023. May we have approval of minutes?
I would like to make a motion for approval of minutes.
And I second.
Roll call, please.
And for the record, Councilman, or Council President Kilman just walked in at 6:06. Councilwoman Cusick,
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter,
Yes.
Councilman Kilman,
Yes.
Councilman Popolo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Woods.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to receive and file the communications?
Yes, I make a motion to receive and file the communications as listed on the agenda.
This is Councilwoman Cusick. I second.
May we have a roll call?
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Popolo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods.
Yes.
Public comment. Anyone wishing to address the governing body, please give your name, spelling the last name and address. Please speak in an audible tone and address your comments to the chair. There will be a 5-minute time limit per speaker unless reduced because of the volume of business on the agenda. Please note, public comment is your time. Out of respect and fairness to all, there will be no interruptions or questions answered during your time. No time shall be ceded to anyone else, and no time shall be saved for later use. Any responses may be given during the governing body's comments later in the meeting or as directed by the chair. The Borough Clerk is the official timekeeper. Seeing that there's no one in council chambers this evening, is there anybody on the phone who would like to make a comment? This is first call for public comment. Anyone from the public on the line would like to make a public comment? This is second call. Third call for anyone from the public who would like to make a public comment who's on the line this evening. Seeing that there's nobody online, we're going to close public comment. We don't have any advertised public hearing for final consideration of ordinances. The mayor has appointed J.M. Nunziata, Recreation Commission regular member, filling the unexpired term of Guy Siraki. Consent resolutions. Be it resolved that resolutions 133, 2023 through and including 142, 2023, having been considered by the governing body of the Borough of Ramsey, be and are hereby passed and approved. There are no special permits or block party requests this evening.
I'll second that.
May we have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Papalo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Okay, there are no special presentations this evening. That brings us up to committee and liaison reports. Finance and Administration, that would be myself. For the library board, recent library events have included a family trivia night with 50-plus attendees, a wildlife photography event with the Environmental Commission, and the restart of the Ramsey Cookbook Club and Library Con, which was held in May. Upcoming events include the summer reading kickoff on June 28th from 2 to 4 p.m., the first of 3 summer concert series, June 22nd, a jazz trio, 7 p.m. at the library, also on July 31st at Finch Park and August 17th at the library. An author visit on July 25th is planned. Ann Napolitano is the visiting author, and other items to be reported at future meetings. For the Rec Commission, summer camp at Finch registration ends this Friday, June 16th. Camp runs from June 26th to July 28th. Rec softball leagues are in progress. Home Run Derby is this Saturday, June 17th at Finch Park. Rec soccer for the fall registration is in progress. And installation of the Civic Rec website is in progress and targeted for the fall for winter registrations. For the Pool Commission, they'll be meeting next week. The pool opened on Memorial Day weekend and will open daily starting next weekend. June events are continuing in the evening, and summer events are in planning stages. That's all I have for this evening. Public Safety, Councilman Kilman.
Thank you, Councilman Gutwetter. Excuse me. First, I have a report from former councilman and military veteran Joe Verdoni for VFW Post 12148. Excuse me again. On Monday, June 12th, at Ramsey High School Awards Ceremony, the VFW presented 6 $200 scholarships to graduating seniors who are related to a veteran, have a reasonable GPA, performed community service, and submitted an essay. Today, Flag Day ceremonies were held at Tisdale and Hubbard schools. 6 VFW members were on hand, 3 at each school to receive the colors for the appointed students. All the students did a terrific job honoring Flag Day, and VFW members were very thankful for their patriotic support. Tomorrow night, members of the VFW will present the colors at the annual Shield Awards ceremony, which will be held at the Knights of Columbus Hall. On Saturday, June 17th, members from Ramsey VFW, Waldwick VFW, and Waldwick American Legion will hold their annual flag retirement service at Crestwood Lake Park in Allendale. Ramsey VFW is planning to participate in the new resident mixer scheduled for Tuesday, June 20th at the Ramsey Pool. The VFW will have a barbecue food booth in front of the VFW building at Ramsey, July 4th, celebration to be held on Saturday, July 1st. VFW's annual poppy donations will continue to run until June 30th. Donation locations are at various retail establishments throughout the borough. So far, donations are doing very well. And that concludes his report. Now for an extended report from me. After speaking with Borough Administrator Mr. Vosé and Mayor Dillon, we felt it would be a good idea in my public safety role to provide a brief recap and ongoing updates in tandem with Mr. Vosé's reports as it pertains to the new Ramsey Emergency Services Building project that would replace the existing structure on South Island Road. The resulting structure would accommodate the Ramsey Fire Department, Heavy Rescue Squad, and move the OEM department to this facility where it belongs, instead of in the basement of Borough Hall. At various mayor and council meetings over the past year, Mr. Vosé has provided cogent explanations on various steps we have taken along the way to address this project. So my reports will be a brief so as to distill the volume of information coming at us. And we will provide you with key information as we move forward. In addition, we are setting up a special folder on the Borough website in which we will place pertinent information about this project as it becomes known and approved. The existing building was originally constructed as a firehouse in the 1950s. Since the original construction, multiple additions have been added to this building. As a result, from the ongoing wear and tear from constant use, various structural problems, ongoing repairs, and limitations to accommodate the emergency services requirements have arisen. To that end, Ramsey Borough has been considering options for either extensive renovations or for replacement of the existing fire department and rescue squad buildings on South Island Avenue. After consultation with various professionals within Ramsey Borough, we engaged Colliers Engineering and Design as an independent engineering firm to perform a review of the current conditions from a structural and ADA point of view and provide their overall evaluation of the current building. In its 2022 report, Colliers provided a detailed analysis on its findings and conclusions and recommendations, and we will post that report on the website. This is a very brief summary of their findings. Regarding architectural, interior safety, and ADA compliance, Colliers stated that the building does not comply with current ADA standards and has operational and code deficiencies that would require major reconstruction or a partial demolition of the structure to accommodate. There is inadequate clearance in the truck bay and substandard height of the overhead bay doors. The stairs need to be completely rebuilt, and an elevator needs to be added, and the restrooms are in disrepair and need to be completely renovated. Regarding the exterior as site safety and ADA compliance, the site does not meet several of the 2010 ADA design standards. This includes restriping the parking lot to include additional ADA spaces, restriping the 8 spaces on the north side of the building to relocate the ADA space closer to a door, adding a curb ramp along the curb bordering those 8 parking spaces, and adding proper turning space and a curb ramp to the main entrance to the firehouse facing east towards the intersection of South Island Avenue and East Main Street. There are multiple structural concerns throughout the main building and rescue building. The chimney of the main building is an immediate safety concern, as pieces of the chimney could fall and impact pedestrians below. Additionally, the main building has a large foundation crack, likely due to settlement, and there is cracking throughout the parge coating that is in the Ramsey Emergency Services building. There are possible issues below the coating and deficiencies with the truck bay slab. Based on experience, it is likely that the truck bay slab exceeds allowable chloride levels. The rescue building and truck bay both show signs of significant settlement throughout. Ground improvements would be required to prevent further settlement, but performing ground improvements or existing structures is very costly and does not completely solve the issue. Ground improvements are better completed prior to the construction of various structures. It is important to note mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems of the subject building are not in the scope of this study. However, Colliers did note that it expects, given what they have seen thus far, if inspected, these areas would not meet the current codes and would require upgrades. Again, based on experience, MEP upgrades and retrofits carry significant design and construction costs. The cost to make the necessary safety and ADA compliance upgrades, some which may not even be feasible to the existing structure, and the necessary building repairs and ongoing future costs to this complex would be cost prohibitive when compared to the construction of a new emergency services building. In order to meet current standards, building codes, and operational issues, Colliers Engineering and Design wrote that the most long-term, cost-effective way to put in place the necessary infrastructure for supporting the operations of these emergency services was to construct a new shared station house. As a result of their findings, the borough sent a request for proposal, or an RFP, out on December 13th, 2022 for professional services for design consulting services on a new complex. The RFP was sent to 4 firms with experience in emergency service building design. Proposals were due on January 27th, 2023, and 3 firms submitted proposals. Each of the firms were interviewed by the ES Building Committee, composed of ex-Ramsey Fire Chiefs Greg Hewitt and Jonathan Creel, and ex-Ramsey Rescue Chief Joe Maffredonia, Ramsey Rescue Chief Chris Kiosian, along with OEM representatives and our Borough Administrator, Mr. Vose. After review by the Borough, it was the consensus and recommendation of all involved that the Borough retain Netta Architects LLC as the firm to be awarded the design services contract. The purpose is for 4 main phases of services, from project initiation to construction documents, as well as construction observation and administration through completion. There are specific sum payments for the various phases of the project, with a cumulative total of the services up to completion of $1,152,000. In March 2023, Ramsey Resolution 80 set in place funding for such services, and Resolution 81 awarded the contract for only the first phases 1A and 1B, to be specific, which constitute $230,400 of the total cost of services. The remainder of the contract for the services of $921,600 was on the agenda on April 26th, where the mayor, at the mayor and council meeting, and was approved. So, my overview brings us up to date if you have not been following our meetings over the past year. I will stop at this point to simply say that as the Ramsey Fire Rescue OEM complex concepts from Netta Architects take shape and become finalized to our satisfaction, we will share them with you and keep you informed on future progress. And Ms. Bendy and I will forward you this document for the minute for the next meeting.
Thank you.
And that concludes my report, Councilman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Kilman, for your very in-depth report. Building, Planning, and Zoning, Councilwoman Jane Woods.
Thank you, Councilman Gutwetter. My report is short. Congratulations and thanks to Lauren Kurses on her appointment to the Ramsey Rescue Squad. And thank you to Ryan Letkowski on his full-time appointment to the Ramsey DPW. The Design Review Board will meet Tuesday, June 27th. The Zoning Board of Adjustment will not have their meeting on Wednesday, the 21st, because we do not have any ready applications. And the Senior Trustees Board met on Thursday, June 8th. The seniors began their meeting with a health planner from Mid-Bergen Regional Health offering support for numerous senior classes highlighting balance and falls, exercise, healthy aging, loneliness, and dementia. They offered to do lunch and learns as well. Elaine O'Hagan started as the new senior coordinator, and Chairman Roger Knaus and I are very pleased. She's wonderful. She is also a certified yoga instructor and can fill in when Joan, the current yoga instructor, has surgery. We met Anita Mullen, a potential new trustee for the group, and she will be an excellent addition. She moved in to Ramsey with her daughter after she was widowed and really found her happy place with the seniors. It was rewarding to hear how well she's doing with that group. And I have nothing further to add. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman
Oh,
Woods.
happy Flag Day. I would like to say that.
Oh, I have my shirt on today.
Utilities, Buildings, and Grounds, Councilwoman Judy Cusick.
Thank you very much. It's Councilwoman's report for the 14th of June. Yes, happy Flag Day. I didn't wear my T-shirt in today, but I certainly wore it into the office. I'm so happy that Ryan Letkowski has been appointed to the Ramsey Department of Public Works. I am also congratulatory to Lauren Kurtes for her appointment to Ramsey Fire Department, and to Jay Nunziata for his service on the Recreation Board. I also want to thank the 3rd graders from the Tisdale Elementary School for their profile project. They had a lemonade stand, and their efforts, the proceeds to which went to buy new trash containers for Main Street. So it was wonderful, and it will, it was, the photos were wonderful. My report tonight will provide an update regarding our Planning Board, our Shade Tree Commission, and the Board of Public Works. The Planning Board last met on June 6th in person. During this meeting, there were 2 public hearings, Evergreen Properties and Chick-fil-A, both as continuations from prior hearings. Evergreen Properties, which is a daycare facility, was approved. The Chick-fil-A hearing is being continued to the 18th of July, 2023. Our next planning board meeting is June 20th in the council chambers. For our Shade Tree Commission, it last met on the 18th of May. The next Shade Tree Commission meeting is the 15th of June. The commission will be contacting some Ramsey residents by mail to notify them that they have trees on their property which are infested with emerald ash borer and should be removed by a professional. Later in tonight's meeting, I will be discussing 2 new ordinances pertaining to the Shade Tree Commission, and they're being introduced at this time. There's information on our borough's website regarding our Shade Tree Commission. For the Borough of Public Works, it last met on May 15th. Our next meeting is the 19th of June. Regarding the lead service line replacement, the Board of Public Works continues planning regarding NJDEP's lead service line replacement legislation. And it's no longer planning, it's also planning and execution, folks. This project requires that all lead service lines served by the water system be replaced by the year 2031. In addition, regarding our utilities and water supply, H2M has begun to review and tabulate the water quality data for the Borough of Ramsey's 2022 Consumer Confidence Report. The report will be available to the board in June, so this month, and a postcard will be mailed to all customers, directing them to a report that will be on our borough's website. Thank you very much. That's my report tonight. Thank you. Mike.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cusick. Public and Governmental Relations, Councilwoman Sarah Poppy.
Thank you, Councilman Governoror.
I'll bring down the
Phone.
Thank
Flying-
you.
flying saucer.
Yeah. Okay, so the Ramsey Municipal Alliance had their drug take-back event on Saturday. I'd like to thank Officer Dane Gilly, who stepped in to help us out. He was great with the kids, giving them their little badge stickers and collecting the unneeded and unwanted medications that were brought. It was very nice having a community officer. The Municipal Alliance also advertised their October 10th Parent Academy, which is going to be the Black Poster project. For anybody who hasn't heard of it, it's a very moving presentation that memorializes people who've lost their lives to substance abuse. On June 20th, just as a reminder, we have the new resident mixer. There are over 25 organizations eagerly participating. There are going to be several really fun giveaways. We're going to have the Dave Kopech duo, and we have a very generous donation from ShopRite of refreshments, including ice cream and cookies, and we will have pizza from Sal's. If you have not registered and you've moved to Ramsey 2021 to now, go to tinyurl.com/Ramsey Welcome 23. Additionally, as a part of new resident outreach, we have been trying to personally reach out to our new residents to greet them to the community, which has been great. And I'd like to thank the council members who have so generously donated their time to help me with this initiative. So thank you, Councilwoman Cusick, Councilman Popolo, and Councilman Kilman for, getting out there with me. And I'd also like to thank Kelly Sylvester for stuffing all the folders. And also this week, we added to the RamseyNJ.com website under Home. If you navigate to Community, there is New Resident Packet is a new link. It's fantastic. It has everything in there from the packet, plus the new resident mixer flyer, as well as our 4th of July celebration. So that celebration will be held on July 1st with a rain date of July 2nd. It will feature the Stereo Junkies, Swingman and the Misfit Mutts, and the Ramsey Wind Symphony. It starts at 6 p.m. Bring a picnic, bring a ball, bring a blanket. It's going to be a really, really great time, so we look forward to having you all there. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Poppy. What time does the mixer begin on?
It begins at 5:30, it goes till 8:30, and thank you for volunteering.
Health, Education, and Social Services, Councilman Glenn Popolo.
Thank you, Councilman Gutwetter. Congratulations to JM, Ryan, and Lauren on their appointments. Ramsey is for everyone. Submitted our grant progress reports for 2021/2022 year, so that is completed. Wright gave out 2 Ramsey High School scholarships on Monday. They went to Emma Cullen and Mario Spagnoletti for $250 each. Challenger final softball game is scheduled for Friday, June 16th at McFarren, 7 to 9. The undefeated Challengers will play a mighty 8th grade all-star team, girls softball team. So if you're available, please attend. 6/24, Ramsey High School Gala will be from 6 to 9 at the Gala at the Gymnasium Upper Gym. We are scheduling a Boulders baseball game in July and a barbecue pool party in August, so dates to be determined. For the Environmental Committee, we met on June 13th. We swore in Steve Remiza to the Environmental Committee. We did have a discussion about Van Gelder Pond and the restoration of possibly Van Gelder Pond. They were reviewing the process of activities that might be needed, permits, et cetera. They may go through SOAR or potentially a grant possibility if that meets the requirements. Jen DiPilato then presented the committee with the community compost program. She highlighted Paramus in having established a program with benefits. She needs to refine the presentation, and we'll finalize that and then hand it over to me, which I will share with the borough for any interest that we might have. And then we did discuss the styrofoam in the various locations of Haskell, Ridgewood, Saddle River, and Wanacue. And Reva Keimeyer will do and prepare potential options and opportunities that we might have for the ongoing discussion on styrofoam. Board of Ed next meeting is June 27th. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Councilman Popolo. Does anyone have any comments for Mayor Dillon this evening? Borough Administrator Bruce Bozay.
Thank you, Councilman. Okay, I have some comments on a few of the resolutions on the agenda tonight and then some of the ordinance up for introduction. Resolution 136 is the award of a contract to Fort Cleanup, Inc. for the improvements to Island Road and Williams Drive. The borough had gone out to public bid in May for this project. Bids were opened on June 7th. 6 contractors submitted bids. Fort Cleanup was the low bid at $309,695.70. It was a very competitive bid process with all the bids within about 3% from the lowest to highest and all below the independent engineer's estimate for the work. CP Steel PA the borough's independent engineer on the project, has recommended award of the contract to Fort Cleanup, and borough engineer and qualified purchasing agent Jack D'Agostero concurs with the recommendation. Borough Attorney Scandariato has also reviewed bids for legal compliance and all satisfactory. The project encompasses the remaining portion of Island Road from Addison Place to the New Jersey DOT overpass area and a portion of Williams Drive from Airmont to the McFarren Field Complex. The other portions of Island Road have been resurfaced recently, and the other portion of Williams Drive is actually in the borough's 2023 resurfacing program, which should start over the summer as well. Funding for this project was previously put in place earlier this spring. The borough also had previously obtained a grant for $206,000 of this work, which significantly mitigates the taxpayer impact of the improvements. Resolutions 137 and 138 are municipal aid grant application for road resurfacing of Grove Street for a future project. These 2 resolutions pertain to preparation and submission of a municipal aid grant application for the resurfacing of Grove Street. Resolution 137 authorized Capital Alternatives to prepare the application, and Resolution 138 approves the execution and submission of the grant application and agreement. The borough, along with Capital Alternatives Help, has been very successful in obtaining municipal aid grants. For example, the project I just discussed for Island Road and Williams Drive, where Ramsey obtained a municipal aid grant of $206,000 and therefore offset more than half the project cost to the taxpayer. The borough should receive notification from the state on this grant application for Grove Street award towards the end of 2023. Resolution 139 confirms the appointment of Ryan Lekowski as full-time employee of the Ramsey DPW with the retirement of Norm Anderson earlier this year. The borough has a DPW full-time opening. After receiving applications and interviewing candidates, the recommendation from the DPW superintendent and assistant superintendents was to offer the position to Ryan Lekowski. Ryan's been a part-time employee in the DPW for a few years, which should make for a seamless transition. Resolution 140 on the agenda tonight authorizes the preparation and issuance of 2023 estimated property tax bills, which are due August 1st. Each year, we do a resolution authorizing the preparation of estimated property tax bills in advance of the third quarter billing due August 1st. This is necessitated by the fact that the County of Bergen must certify all four components of the property tax rate: the Board of Education, which composes 69%, the municipality 19%, the county 10%, and the library 1%, prior to the final 2023 property tax rates being set. Since the county certification has not occurred yet and bills need to be issued a minimum of 30 days before they are due by law, we will be sending them out later this month. Once the county certification process is complete, the final 2023 rate will be implemented and reflected in the fourth quarter property tax billing. The Board of Education municipal and library portion of the 2023 property tax rate, composing 90% of the total rate, have all been set pending certification, and along with an estimate from the county component, these are reflected in the total estimated 2023 property tax rate of $2.726, which overall is a 3.93% increase from 2022. Resolution 142 on the agenda is the disposal of obsolete equipment no longer needed for public use. The borough owns equipment including a washer and extractor located at and utilized by the Ramsey Fire Department. The equipment is well past its life cycle, has no value. The fire department, through the borough grant writer, has obtained a grant for new equipment to replace this obsolete equipment. There are three ordinances on the agenda for introduction tonight. I'll speak about ordinance number 5. I think Councilwoman Cusick had mentioned during her report that she'll make comments on the two shade tree ordinances, number 6 and 7. Ordinance 5 is amending Chapter 10, Section 2 for hours of employment and establishing summer hours. Borough Hall's hours of operation for the public are 8:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday for a total of 40 hours. In 2021 and 2022, the borough successfully implemented a change in operating hours for the summer. Borough Hall opened at 8 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday, starting a half hour earlier than normal. Borough Hall on Monday through Thursday also extended the normal day and closed at 5 p.m. on Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday closed early at 12 o'clock. This provided the same 40 hours a week that Borough Hall was open. This ordinance codifies those changes for the summer period this year and beyond. These would be in place from the last Monday in June through Labor Day weekend, essentially coinciding with the school calendar. For 2023 only, with the ordinance introduced tonight and vote on adoption on June 28th, we will start the summer hours on Monday, July 3rd. And then, as I mentioned, Councilwoman Cusick will discuss the other two ordinances, and that's all I have for tonight, Councilman.
Thank you. Mr. Rosé. Borough Attorney.
Nothing, thank you.
Borough Clerk.
And thank you.
We have some introduction of ordinances. This is the introduction of ordinance 05-2023. Be resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Chapter 10 of the Code of the Borough of Ramsey, Bergen County, New Jersey, and more specifically, Section 10-2, entitled Hours of Employment, passed the first reading by title, and that said ordinance be further considered for final passage and adoption at a regular meeting of the mayor and council to be held on the 28th day of June 2023, 6 p.m. prevailing time, or as soon after as the matter can be reached at the municipal building in said borough, And be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and she hereby is instructed to publish in an official newspaper of the Borough in a manner provided by law a copy of said ordinance, together with notice of introduction thereof, and notice when the same will be considered for final passage and adoption. Are there any additional comments on this ordinance? If not, can we have a roll call, please?
Did you have a second?
I'll
Need a
second. Second.
Sorry about that.
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Papalo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Okay, can we have the ordinance, introduction of ordinance 06-2023?
Yes, this is Councilwoman Cusick. This is ordinance 06-2023. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Chapter 20 of the Code of the Borough of Ramsey, Bergen County, New Jersey, and more specifically, Section 20-3.12 thereof entitled Substitutions, pass the first reading by title, and that said ordinance be further considered for final passage and adoption at a regular meeting of the mayor and council to be held on the 28th day of June, 2023, 6 p.m. prevailing time, or as soon after as the matter can be reached at the municipal building in said borough, and be it further resolved that the borough clerk be, and she hereby is instructed to publish in an official newspaper of the borough in the manner provided by law a copy of said ordinance, together with notice of introduction thereof, and notice when the same will be considered for final passage and adoption. Just some comments on this particular introduction of an ordinance. This is coming from the Shade Tree Commission, and it's really for the ability to have stones used as ground cover in commercial landscaping application. The Shade Tree provides guidance, or in this particular ordinance, on the types of stones and the types of applications where stone may be acceptable as a substitution instead of having materials wash away. This will be a case-by-case basis, a project-by-project basis with Shade Tree Committee review. Previously, there had been no allowance for stone as a ground cover in commercial applications. Any questions or comments?
I would like to second the ordinance.
Any other comments? We have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Papalo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Can we have the introduction of ordinance 07-2023?
Yes, be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Chapter 20 of the Code of the Borough of Ramsey, Bergen County, New Jersey, and more specifically, Section 20-5.13 thereof entitled Replacement and Treatment of Trees Which Are Removed or Damaged in Violation of this section, Tree Restoration Fund Stop Work Order. Pass the first reading by title, and that said ordinance be further considered for final passage and adoption at a regular meeting of the mayor and council to be held on the 28th day of June, 2023, 6 p.m. prevailing time, or as soon after as the matter can be reached at the municipal building in said borough, and be it further resolved that the borough clerk be, and she hereby is instructed to publish in an official newspaper of the borough in the manner provided by law a copy of said ordinance, together with notice of introduction thereof, and notice when the same will be considered for final passage and adoption. So some comments on this one. The prior condition that we had was that if there was a violation, if there were a violation of our shade tree code, only the owner of the property would be considered eligible to be fined. So this ordinance amends the current language on the obligation for replacement of trees removed in violation of the code. So, again, we said that the owner was to replace trees if a violation occurred. The new language adds, in addition to the owner, a contractor, a landscaper, the tree removal service to the code. So this will facilitate replacement of trees taken down in a violation, but also helps our property owners who may have hired a contractor or someone else who violated the tree removal process, but then attempted to push the replacement costs to the property owner as responsible under the old language.
I'd like to second the motion.
Thank you, Jane.
Are there any additional comments on this ordinance? Not seeing any. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Popolo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Woman Woods?
Yes.
Is there any unfinished or new business this evening?
I have one comment to just append. I didn't thank Mayor Deirdre Dillon with her help for the new resident outreach. So, because her face wasn't here. So I would like to just state for the record that, to thank her for her support and also her participation walking with, myself and the other council members.
And I have something to add too in new business. On our borough website, the Ramsey Police Department now has joined in, and they have a section under our Borough of Ramsey website. So to get to this portal, you go to our Borough of Ramsey website and go to the Government tab and get to the sub-tab for Police Department. From this tab, you're going to find the following information: a message from our Chief, Brian Lyman, information regarding the RAVE system, our community notification system, internal affairs information, Ramsey Police Department body-worn camera information, Ramsey Police Department prescription drug disposal box, instructions on obtaining a motor vehicle crash report, instructions on a firearms permit and information and application information, overnight parking in our online request form, alarm registration, and a vacant house check online request form. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cusick. Any other business to discuss this evening? Not seeing any. Can we ask for an adjournment?
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Adjourned.
We're adjourned.